Welcome, racers. Welcome back to the Chicane Club live stream. It is week 7 of season 2 of 2024 on iRacing, and we are in north central Italy at Mugello, which I have been to. I'm very happy to say. I was back in 2015 when I was there last. I was there for the Ferrari World Finals, and we won one of the World Championships that weekend. I know it's just Ferrari Challenge, and everyone's got opinions on the drivers and the cars and blah blah blah, but nonetheless, I'm a World Championship engineer with a Ferrari, so not many people can say that. And the Americans won at Italy, so that's also a cool thing, beating them at their own game. So. That one was fun. This place is awesome. Usually you're staying in Florence, somewhere which is 45 minutes south. You're in the beautiful rolling hills in north central Italy. The facilities are amazing. The track is awesome. Sound is mega. Weather is usually really nice. And you're eating pasta at night and having espresso in the morning from Italy, so it doesn't suck. So, yeah, except I'm not in a Ferrari tonight. I'm still in our Mercedes-AMG GT3, which feels kind of sacrilege considering the track we're driving on, but I'm not going to complain too much. Yeah, we've driven this track quite a bit in the past. I learned it a lot on Assetto Corsa. Done a couple iRacing races here in the past, so I feel very suited to get ready for this one. As you can tell, it's going to be totally dry. We don't have to worry about any wet weather, which was actually a surprise. I was really thinking it was going to rain for this race, considering prevailing weather in Italy this time of year. Ooh. Prototype spun out behind me on his own. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. We've got a new updated livery thanks to Replica Racing and Josiah. So we've got basically the same livery design as before. We've moved a couple of things around, added a couple of logos, and we figured out some of the really cool texturing. So now that the blue on the car is actually a bit more matte, and the silver on the car is much closer to chrome now, which looks really cool. Not that you can tell it on the live stream, but we'll get some new renderings up soon on our Instagram so you can see what that looks like. And we'll catch a glimpse of it in some of the replay stuff after the races today. But just getting started here. So, and also very exciting Mercedes-AMG news. I want to give a huge shout out to all the guys at CP Racing for winning overall the Spa 12 Hour over the weekend in very dramatic fashion, all full weather conditions. We were talking about it with Shane today. He just got back last night. He might be joining us next week, but more on that later. Yeah, awful weather, like 1 degree C. Rain, very little sun, literal hail. Like, he showed me the onboard video. It was literally considerable hail falling for his final stint. Like, crazy conditions, but they won, like, overall in their final race ever, which was, I was really upset that I couldn't be there myself to be cheering them on and playing a part in that. But just mega for them. That's an incredible operation for them to go out on a high note like that. So it's kind of the stuff that fairy tales are written of. So really happy for them that they got to experience it that way. Yeah, and conveniently next week, I believe on the schedule is our Spa race. So that would be why it would be really cool to have. We're going to see if we can get Shane himself to come in, and I think he's going to be giving me more pointers than I will normally be giving him for that one. So that'll be cool. But how's everyone doing back there? How's it going, Garrett and TJ and Daphne?
It's going fantastic back here.
Yeah?
All good in Jupiter, Florida.
Yeah, right?
Just looking forward to you passing this guy.
Yeah, right? Got a little Mercedes. I'll play nice.
Captain I got the curse.
There you go. Yeah, right? So Garrett and I took a good bit of time today to dial in our setup. We had a past setup that we've used for, I think it was one of the VRS endurance races. Then we took that as a starting point and then rubbed on it a good bit further. I think I lowered the front end a little bit. I think I took one click of rear wing out of it. And then I stiffened up the front sway bar a little bit. So it's a little bit more pointy and sharp in the front end now. So it works. We did our practice race earlier today, and it worked pretty well for me. I was pretty happy with how the car felt throughout the entire race distance. So,
does that make it feel less like a boat?
So we're feeling pretty good for this one tonight. Seems like the Mercedes is pretty competitively fast. One of the races we did earlier today, the Lambo was unbelievable. I don't know if it was just the selection of drivers, but it was over a second a lap faster the entire race distance, so I really had nothing for them at all. I don't know if iRacing changed their BOP. I know they would claim that there is no such thing, but that ain't true. I don't know what it was, or if it was just some alien driver with an alien setup that was smurfing on all of us in a lower split somehow. I don't know what it was, but that guy was bad fast. So... And as some of you may have noticed, yes, we now have our engine audio back. There was a weird technical thing that went on the last 2 weeks with Streamlabs, which is the streaming packaging software that we use that didn't want to communicate with basically the rest of our system with how we pick up the engine audio. So we found a workaround for this week. What is this prototype doing?
So whenever I was listening to you earlier today on your preferred line, it sounded like you wanted the driving line for all turns except for 2, with that one being one of them and the long sweeping right-hander after the switchbacks being the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough with the multi-class thing here. There's a lot of long duration corners and a lot of stuff that goes left, right, or right, left. So that switchback in a lot of those positions creates some weird dynamics with multi-class stuff, especially in the higher speed corners, where they're just catching you at such an incredible rate. It's tough. You have to really... I mean, as we're doing more of these races, I'm getting hopefully better at managing the traffic situation. Hopefully I'm not getting too elbows out and not letting the prototypes by. I like to think I'm being fair, within a good measure of room for error there, but yeah, it's tough. You have to really very early, if you see prototypes coming, you have to show them what you want them to do. Like, if you're going to go to the inside and you want them to go around the outside, make it very clear to them very early that you're going to do that, or just yield however you're going to do it, preferably in the braking zone of a corner so we're not compromising our corner exit at all. That's really the goal. It's much easier said than done. Sometimes you're forced into silly things, or you think a prototype's not going to make a move and then he does, or you leave an opportunity and you give up time and then the prototype doesn't pass you and you're like, well, I just gave up time for absolutely nothing. So that part's a bit frustrating, but I mean, such happens in real life in multi-class racing too. So it's not like I'm blaming sim people. It's just kind of the nature of how this stuff evolves, and hard to communicate that sometimes in real time.
I was thinking about that in the race last week at Long Beach, that like other people were dealing with it too. So it kind of helps equal the playing field that everybody has to deal with it. And I may not be the same exact situation, but they're going through it also.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the prototypes, I'm sure if I was in a prototype having to pass GTs, I'd be complaining about, this guy's blocking me, he won't get out of the way. Like, I'm sure I'd be having the same discussion from the other side of the coin. So it's something that everyone has to deal with, but naturally the better you get at it, the less time you lose either direction. So it's something you really want to just work on getting good at and trying to minimize time loss. So being just smart about moves and trying to minimize risk. I mean, there's no risk of anyone getting hurt or spending bills in sim world, but you know, we don't want to nuke our races. So it's a tough one to manage, and I'll try to talk through some of the thinking of it tonight, but something unexpected is bound to happen at some point. So hopefully nothing too juicy. But yeah, if you guys are watching, this is your first time tuning in, well, thanks for joining us. My name is Greg Giorgis. I'm the founder and CEO here at the Chicane Club. I'm an I say ex, but I still moonlight from time to time. Race engineer, strategist, driver coach, and occasional actual racer. Working more on that in the future, but and then I'm coming to you live from the Chicane Club here in coastal Jupiter, Florida, about 20 minutes north of West Palm Beach. This is our sim racing social club. So I come to you from a $100,000 simulator made by CXC, fully optioned out. We've got full motion. I'm looking at triple 77-inch screens. I've got a Valve Index VR headset there that we honestly don't use all that much because these TV screens are hard to beat. Running them in 2K at 120 frames pretty reliably. I've got full motion on the seat that we've tuned in. Yes, this is a seat mover. A lot of people have negative things to say about seat movers, but we've done a lot of work to tune how this feels, and it feels really good. A lot of drivers really love it. We don't really hear negative feedback on it very often. There's other motion systems that have their pros and cons, but this is what we work with. And the rest of this product is really very commercial grade, which is why we wanted it. We wanted to work with the best. So I've got you can see on the bottom left of their main display there, you can see our pedal cam. I've got a hydraulic brake pedal setup. So we've got Tilton dual master cylinders running .5 brake fluid that, yes, we do actually have to bleed every so often because the fluid degrades. The seals will break down over time, and we actually are due for rebuilds here pretty shortly. All that just means is that the whole pedal set is literally hardware from a real car, and nothing feels quite as good as it does in the real car. So, is it overkill for competitive iRacing? Yep, yes it is, but that's not all we do here. So, cleaning this up a little bit. I'd love to get into the 48s with my qualifying time tonight. Did a low 49 earlier today, but with some mistakes. But I'm running my race setup right now.
Whenever you guys do the brake bleed, are you doing it here in house or are you shipping it out?
No, we do that. We do that in house. We have a stock of Willwood's official 5.1 brake fluid, and we literally bleed it like you bleed the brakes on a car. Except there's no brake calipers. The two master cylinders feed what looks like a clutch slave cylinder, and then you pump up pressure. You put your bleed bottle with a hose on. You crack the bleed valve open, push the pressure, pump the pedal a few times. Get the fluid through. A cycle out the old fluid, and then every once in a while we have to rebuild the master cylinders themselves so they get all new seals and everything, so they feel nice and tight and have a good solid feel. So. Yeah, a lot of maintenance for a simulator for sure, but like I said, we do a lot of training with real drivers and nothing beats the real thing. So now I will tell you, because I have thousands of hours in this sim or identical ones we've owned in the past, I am so finally in tune with the motion system on here and the pedal set and the steering set and the TV screens and everything, the way this is configured, that this is the best sim for me that I could be driving in right now. It doesn't mean that another sim I couldn't adapt to and get better at, but I'm best suited to do my best in this sim the way it is set up right now. If you turn the motion off, it'd be like driving with one eye closed. So it's hard for me to adapt to. So I feel really good in this. Is it necessary to spend 6 figures to be good at iRacing? No, absolutely not, but that's not all we're doing here, so. I would personally say it's not the first thing you should spend money on if you're budget limited for a sim, which I understand is most people. Motion is not the first thing you should spend money on. A good display, a good PC, a good wheel, good pedals, all that stuff is really important. But if you're looking for a way to jazz up what you do, there's a couple motion systems that you can look to bolt onto your sim or upgrade yourself to, well short of $100,000. That can go a long way, but it's ultimately what you want to get out of it, and how you tune it to work for you. So, I know TJ back there, Mr. More Podiums, has been integrating a butt kicker in his setup, and I think you've got most of the stuff sorted out for it now, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt there, but with what is motion to you is just simply vibrations and shakes to me. So whenever the baby was sleeping, I had turned off the butt kicker, so I heard no rattling or shaking throughout the house.
Mm-hmm.
And baby's up here and dad's down here in priority list. But yeah, it felt so empty without having any feedback. I mean, with the direct drive wheel you get, with the pedals you get, but the shake, which you guys have got multiple butt kickers here, but you also get the motion. You guys are plus.
Yeah. When you spend enough time with it, you know how to I would say listen, but you know how to like expect the sensation of certain things. Like when I roll over a curb, or I get ABS lock, or the car gets loose, or I deal with understeer, or whatever it is, I know what the seat is telling me is going on. And sometimes something weird will happen, and then I'll be like, "Huh, what was that?" And then I'll go back and watch a replay, and I realize that something happened that I wasn't expecting, or I just didn't capture it in the moment. But it's really cool what it's able to tell you, and I get a little bit loose and overzealous there. Too much on the braking stuff. But I'm going to take this opportunity to do a practice stop. Yeah, it's just another dimension of having another feedback tool that's really good for you. One of the big things that we really like with this motion system, and others can do this too, is that we have these seat belts on passive tensioners. So when you hit the brakes, the seat pitches forward.
Right here.
The seat pitches forward, and you'll feel the shoulder belts tighten up, which is kind of similar to the sensation of being thrown forward in your seat. I realize that now that I do that these are a bit loose, so I'm going to tighten these up. But it's a really useful feedback tool for kind of getting a sense of how hard we're actually hitting on the brake pedal. And it's not as intense as real life, of course. It's really hard to generate multiple orders of G-force without actually moving at 175 miles an hour, is a simple explanation of it. But yeah. All right, I'm going to move over to the race lobby and we'll do some qualifying practice. But I'm pretty happy. 49.1 in race trim is pretty good. I would love to be able to do some low 49s early in the race on fresh tires. That would be...
Mr. Greg.
Yes.
You've got Carlos Garzon from last weekend saying that he hopes that you guys have a wonderful race. And they are also racing today, so I hope that we're in the same split. And also Morgan Hobbs, who's up here in Jupiter, and did not know that you guys existed.
Oh, welcome, Morgan. Thanks for joining us.
And once again, Ionis for a weekly masterclass. So we got to be sure to give out the information.
Someone else can call this a masterclass, but I am not. I'm not going to call it that. I'm just another idiot playing around with cool toys. That's all I've done my entire life. I grew up playing Gran Turismo, liked race cars, worked on cars, and then worked in racing, and then still liked playing with simulators. And here I am a couple years later with this whole thing, this whole business built around me. But I'm just a kid playing with toys still. The toys just got more expensive, which I feel like is most males, but hopefully, I don't know. We're just moving over to the official race lobby ahead of the race starting, so we still have another 23 minutes until we move to the race session. But yeah, thanks for joining, guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, ideas, complaints, whatever it is, please drop a comment. I'm not seeing the chat in real time, but the guys will relay questions to me from our command center back there. So, is Bo on camera tonight? Somewhere, hopefully. Everyone always asks about Bo. He's the rock star here. He's the reason this all exists.
We're trying to find the little man.
He's sleeping somewhere. For anyone else paying attention with what we've been had going on here the last week, last Thursday night we hosted a Barrett Jackson VIP kickoff party. If you're watching and you were here, thank you so much for coming. I hope you had a really good time. Hopefully you had a chance to drive one of these two simulators. We had a great time with Craig at Flying Wheels. Really good turnout. This place was awesome. We're going to try to host more events like that here in the future for everyone, members and non-members alike. And then Craig and I Went to Barrett-Jackson here in Palm Beach the next day. Spent an entire day going around looking at cars. We were up on the auction block, checking some stuff out. Was super cool. That was fun. And then that was Friday, and then Saturday the CP guys were racing, and then on Saturday or Sunday morning, then they won the race. So like it was an action-packed week for us. If you watch our live stream last week, we brought home our first win. Our first W was very dramatic. Someone may have grabbed the champagne a little early for us and may have jinxed us. Hope everyone's laughing back there. I'm glad I didn't know about that until afterwards. But yeah, super dramatic. Never thought our first win would have come from Long Beach of all places. I was just like hoping we would survive, and then we were leading for most of the time, and then it all got complicated in the last couple laps, and we just managed to hold on for a win. So that was super cool. I have a new high score for my heart rate, but 135 I think we saw last week. What do you guys?
We got a bit over 140, I believe.
Yeah,
we got like 142 or 145, one of those two.
Okay.
So hopefully we don't top it this time.
I hope.
I don't think we need to be shaving more years off your life with playing iRacing, but
it's good.
We'll see.
Exposure therapy, I guess, for doing more of these. But hopefully, this is for you guys. It'd be great to see that happen again. I don't know that I'm excited to do that, but I'll take whatever I can get. I'm going to go for a win no matter what. Well, within reason. I'm going to give it my all. Is my point. But it was cool winning the race and then watching the Long Beach Grand Prix over the weekend, both the IMSA race and IndyCar. Shout out to my guy, Parker Thompson, taking pole and then winning the race with Benton Barnicoat. So congrats to you guys. Nicely done. And then my other friends finished P2. So Robbie Foley, Pat Gallagher, congrats to you guys also. It was a hard-fought race for you guys too, but I know a podium is still a big one for you guys too. So congrats on that.
Greg, is this fog a part of the Tempest system that just came out with iRacing, or is this has this been existing?
That's actually a good question. I believe it's a part of their. Oh, I'm going live. I believe it's a part of their Tempest system. I should know the answer to that. That's a good question, TJ. I believe it's a part of their Tempest system. Yes.
But you know what? I'll do the research on it. And I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
If any of the people in the chat or in the lobby know the answer, feel free to chime in and save me a few keystrokes here.
Yeah. Let's see what ChatGPT says. Alright, so we're going to do some qualifying practice here. Looks like I'm the only one on track right now. Take a nice wide exit for a really good run here. Got some good heat in the tires. Really low, well not really low, but low track and ambient temp because of the fog. So we found it was pretty hard to get heat in the tires earlier. Well, let's see what we can do here in practice. Yeah, the way I like to run these practice sessions, the last 30 minutes before, hopefully we've got a good setup dialed in. We've got our fuel calculations done for how much we need to add in a race. We're going to run a different setup at qualifying. We know what that is. I like to run qualifying as the last thing I do, so that when I jump into qualifying, I'm really finely tuned with the fuel load and the way the car feels. And then getting into the race setup for the race is a bit easier for me because you just kind of back everything down. Drive conservative until you really settle in and feel the car out with everything that's going on. Ooh, not an ideal lap here, but it'll be close.
So, the iRacing weather system. iRacing's all-new weather system hits the virtual track for 2024 Season 2.
Okay.
Take your sim racing experience to the next level with dynamic weather options that challenge drivers to run in any conditions, including rain and fog.
Oh.
It's racing in wet the iRacing way.
Do you have a future life as a commentator somewhere? The guy should announce movies on like The advertisements. In a world.
I'm glad that you guys caught my drift there. I'm here all night, guys.
49.4. I want to crack out a 48. Got distracted looking in the wrong place. So, let me explain what I did there. That was just a straight up error by me. I was looking at the delta, the split with the other cars, seeing who else is on track, and I just brought my eyes up one fraction of a second too late and then saw I was behind. So one of the things that I do that I've discovered with myself as a way to self-coach and self-improve, a lot of what driver coaches and drivers and people are always talking about, no matter what level you are, if you're a novice, you've been to a couple track days, you've raced at a club level, you've raced professionally, whatever it is, coaches and drivers are always talking about their eye placement. Where are your eyes? How far ahead are you looking? Are you looking at the apex? Where are your eyes at any given moment? Are you checking your gauges, checking your mirrors? Where are your eyes? They can only obviously be in one place at a time. The one thing that I've kind of identified with myself is that when I make a mistake like that, that was purely down to me just looking in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I find that if I'm constantly like missing an apex and I don't know why, I've kind of taught myself that, if I'm missing that apex, probably my eyes. So let's try to pick up my eyes a bit earlier, look for the corner a bit earlier, and then usually my hands and feet will figure out what to do to get me where I need to go. That's just something I've self-identified, but that's like that would be like some coaching advice I would give to someone. If like you can't figure out what to do in a certain corner, or you're making the same mistake every single time and you don't know why, think about what you're doing with your eyes and what you can change that would help you get where you need to be. Usually the result is you need to look further down the road sooner. This last time I was honestly just distracted looking at something I shouldn't have been at the wrong time.
Hey.
Hello.
It's me.
Hi. My lovely wife Daphne, everyone.
Hello. Where are we at with those eye tracking glasses? I forgot to ask you.
I need to follow up with the person who has them right now. A particular coach of an IndyCar driver has had them for a little while, doing some experiments himself with some sim stuff. I just need to follow up with him. I might just send him this video as evidence. I need to talk to him though.
Right?
Yeah.
This would be a good
hey,
thing to
I talked about you publicly on my live stream. No, it's all good.
Do you think they would be worth it to show? Maybe like we could even make a video on them. That'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking we could possibly I could wear them for an entire live stream, and you guys could have something else to look at. That would be really cool. That would be cool. A possibility too. So what we're talking about, if you guys haven't figured out yet, is that we have a pair of eye tracking glasses. That it's literally a pair of glasses that you put on your head, and they have a camera right on the nose bridge between your eyes, and then they use infrared scanners on your pupils and your actual eyeballs. They can track where your eyes are focused and then map that information onto the forward-facing image from the camera. So, like, imagine you're looking through my eyes and you see a circle moving around where my eyes are focused in real time. Yes, it's very cool. It doesn't tell the full picture. One of the things that we've discovered in coaching people with them is that race car drivers use their peripheral vision a lot. And peripheral vision, in really simple sense, just means that you're trying to perceive information in an area that's different to where your eyes are actually pointed and focused. So that's purely neurological. It's going on in your brain. It's not something that you can actually physically detect with where your eyes are pointed. But nonetheless, it's still really cool to see where my eyes are bouncing around, checking gauges, checking mirrors, looking for an apex, checking a track out curve, whatever it is.
Yeah, like you said, it doesn't tell the whole story, but it definitely gives a good piece of it.
Yeah, you can very, very clearly see stuff like driver fatigue, too. One of the things that we've found in experience of using them in the sim is drivers that are, like, super fatigued, like, really tired, like, they just did a race earlier that day and they have to get back in the car again, is that their eyes will continuously drop. Like you're like, oh, there must be something wrong. The circle keeps dropping down, dropping down, dropping down, dropping down. You're like, what's going on? And it turns out it's with some research, it's a physiological response that your eyes just do this thing where they just keep like looking down. You tell someone that and they're like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm like, data says otherwise. So there's some really cool tricks that you can kind of discover and see in real time. But we're going to work on getting them here for the stream. They're quite expensive. That's why we really keep them as a professional coaching tool that we use with people. But yeah, super cool. Very cool resource that we have.
I'm giving the headset back to TJ, but Debbie says hi.
Oh, hi, Mom. Hello.
She happens to share last name with you, so you might know her. I don't know.
Yeah. Hello. Is that a text I just got too? So JJ, if you're watching, we need to talk. Do some cool things here, which I'm glad to bring you in for if you want to be involved, but you might be busy doing IndyCar things. Oh, that wasn't quite good. I'm distracted right now, not doing my best in qualifying. I'm going to reset. I'm screwing up, not paying attention to what I'm doing right now. All right. All right, so if I'm going to do this like true qualifying practice, I don't do a burnout out of the box. Not going to interrupt anyone else's lap. All right. What else have you been working on, TJ?
I was actually just about to make a really funny joke on a text message. Shout out to the Wolves. Hopefully they have a very positively eventful day tomorrow whenever they tune in and watch the race. Stuff that I've been up to. So if you guys want to drop by more podiums, and if you are in the market for a track racer seat, just released a video on the difference between the track racer recliner seat or the track racer fiberglass or bucket seat. So feel free to watch that out. I go into kind of at the very end there, the pluses and minuses, pros and cons of each of them. So I'll save you guys a few seconds. If you're a big person with in the width department potentially, you might want to think about the recliner as compared to the bucket, where about a 36-inch waist seems to be your kind of the max that I would recommend for getting in there. But other than that, though, I'm really looking forward to racing Sebring this week in the Porsche Cup, so hoping to get that in Saturday morning or Sunday morning before we kick off the weekend activities.
Nice.
Yeah, might go up to Jonathan Dickinson, so shout out once again to the folks here in Jupiter to get some mountain biking in.
Shane and I are very due, so if you go and you're looking for two other people to ride with, then let us know, because we may join you.
Yeah.
No pressure if you want to do it yourself too. That park is awesome there, and we got some rain this week, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, we were really digging through that deep sand last time that we were up there. The buddy that we're doing the triathlon with the Turtle Man, he went up there and showed me how it's done through that deep sand and kicked my butt.
Yeah, Shane beats my butt every time when we go together. It's crazy. You're just pedaling and the bike's just going sideways. I don't even know how those guys do it. I feel like an amateur. Prototype ruining my fast lap as always. Not that he knew that, but
oh man, I'm totally down for a more podiums livery. I'll hit you up, Replica Racing. Thank you so much. We'll make that happen.
Nice.
May 3rd to the 5th, if you guys are still down, we'll be making that trip over to Sebring to watch the Toyota Cup. I don't know the official name. I think it's the GR Cup. I keep calling it the Butt Kicker Cup. iRacing. Yeah, I'm really. Ooh.
Just caught it, shagged the lap, but I'm going to reset here. Go ahead. Sorry, TJ.
No, it's all right. But yeah, really looking forward to going up there and seeing that. So hoping to make a quick video there of kind of the differences or the similarities between watching portions of that race from iRacing and a spectator view as compared to in person. It'll be my first time at Sebring in person, but really looking forward to it.
Yeah, let's get together. We'll go together up for that one. I've got some insider stuff we can take and show you there. And I'll give you the lay of the land. Good old Sebring. Ruining these laps tonight. What's unfortunate with the weekend of SRO coming to Sebring for that weekend is that it's the same weekend as F1 Miami. Fortunately, I'm not in the income bracket to be able to afford to go to F1 Miami, so I guess it's really not that much of an issue, and we'll be able to watch all the replays afterwards. It's just unfortunate that they planned 2 big race weekends in South Florida on the same weekend. Naturally, F1's quite a bit bigger, but there's still a bunch of people who would naturally want to go to both. So, hate that they did that, but I'm still going to Sebring for that weekend. But that will be fun. I'll be glad to show you around there, TJ. You're going to have a good time.
Yeah, I'd love to go, and we got room in the truck if you guys want to ride with. We got a dog babysitter, and yeah, we'll be blasting up there in the Raptor.
Cool. Yeah, it's a fun road trip too. It's not a 3-hour boring drive on 995. That's the cool part.
Agreed.
Yeah.
On that one, would you have taken such a close line to that curb if it wasn't for that prototype being there?
No, not at all. I was just trying to let him by, and clearly he didn't want to wait for it to get through. That's one of the most scary spots for prototypes to pass is there, because the GT3 cars are flat out like on the limit. The prototypes, they're not even working that hard to get through there because they have so much downforce. I'm going to pull out of the way for this guy. Let me get out of the way here, and I'll reset. How much time do we have left, guys, for the race?
You got 4 minutes.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll do one more out. Yeah, so that final chicane there that's really fast, 13, 14, we're flat out, so it's a really tough spot for prototypes to try to get pushy and get by. It's kind of frustrating when they push through there, but I know they're running their own race, so I try to be as polite as I can. Ooh, and heads up about it ahead of time if I see it coming. The other spot that's really tough and sketchy is turns 8 and 9, which is arrabbiata 1 and 2, which is the Italian word for aggravated or like spicy. It's actually the same word in Italian. It's just because they're fast, badass corners. Use my language. I think badass is YouTube acceptable. Coming up here shortly, because on a GT3 car you are very close to the limit here, like all the way around. Big downforce, big commitment, big compression. And when the prototypes start putting their nose through there and they're just trying to force their way through, it's really hard to change what course you're on quickly. So it's a little frustrating when they come through there. I know it's a natural consequence. I just ask that they try to go the path that I'm allowing them to go and not try to force their way through creatively. Or just time it so that it makes sense would be really nice. There's ways that we can both make this work and we're not costing each other a lot of time. But just respect that I can't change direction as fast as you can. That's a more traditional line through there. And then what we do on our qualifying laps is that I like to run really wide, nice and slow here, even go a little bit off track. It doesn't really matter for our setup lap. And then you get a really good exit on the way out, and it's worth a tenth or two by turn 1. So hopefully we'll have enough time to get one more fast lap in here. Tonight, I'm essentially running the same setup between qualifying and race. I'm running my traction control and ABS at one higher setting, so I'm allowed to get a little bit more sideways, both in brakes and on throttle. It's not great for tire wear, but that's not a problem in qualifying. It's a little sketchier to drive, but again, it's acceptable for 2 laps in qualifying when I'm really trying to push. I'll be running a bit more conservative during the race.
Before you exit the session, don't forget to promote.
Yes, I will. Thank you. But thank you for joining us again, guys. Appreciate it. We don't have a huge follower base quite yet, but we are growing steadily every week. And we're trying to do this organically. We're not buying followers. We're not buying comments or likes or any of that stuff. We're not even paying for ads, at least not yet. We're trying to do this the old-fashioned way, just sharing what we do with our really cool space that we have here. Just bring in a taste of what only a few people can afford for everyone else. And thanks to this prototype driver for not ruining my fast lap. All right, we're going to bring it to the line. Let's see what this counts for. I think it's going to be a 49.2. Maybe? 49.2. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's my best yet. I think he may have done a 49.1. All right, we're going to move over to our race session for qualifying up next. Yeah, you can see in this shot right here how foggy it actually is. There's nothing wrong with my screen or anything. It's just showing a foggy day in central Italy. So. All right, qualifying up next. Well, technically we have a 3-minute practice, which most of which will be burned in us simply moving over to this race session. Yeah, and then we'll do our typical qualifying. We have an 8-minute window to do 1 out lap, leaving pit lane to set everything up, build some heat in the tires, and then enough time to do 2 fast laps. Our first one, we always try to run a little bit conservatively. I drive a little bit under the limit. The tires are still a little cold. We try to bank a good lap, just get something in that's semi-representative so I'm not dead last. And then if that goes all well, I get to register a legal lap time. Then on the second lap, when I've got more heat, then I'm going to push a bit harder, or if I made a mistake, something didn't work out in the first one, then I'll kind of wind it back just a little bit, and just so I can get something representative, so I'm not dead last. So, with the weather conditions set with this track right now, it's like 66 degrees ambient, but with total fog cover, so the track temperature is really low. Also, it's proving to be really hard to get heat into the tires. The last one I did earlier today, the tires are almost still ice cold on my first qualifying lap, so we still have that to contend with. So I always like to think that qualifying is always like your perfect condition ultimate lap, and just with the way the temperature modeling goes here in iRacing and how they set their qualifying up, not always possible. So everyone has to deal with the same thing, so it's just equal terms, but it'd be nice if we could just get perfect tires for it too. So
You said that the Lamborghini drivers from earlier seemed to not have to deal with that.
Yeah, the Lamborghinis are on a totally different planet. The race we did earlier today, they were so much faster. I don't know what I did wrong here. Let's see. We have Carlos in our session here. Doesn't look like it. I don't believe. Or Javier. Oh, there's a Javier. Was it Javier Frazier? Is that was that his name last week? He went in here. Now, what server are we on?
Definitely sounds familiar. I cannot say for sure though.
Okay, we're pitted all the way towards the end here. So, we might be in top split tonight, boys. I think we are. Seeing a lot of really high iRatings. All right. Well, our chance of winning just got much lower than I thought. So we're competing with the best people on iRacing tonight for anyone paying attention. So this is the top ranked guys. These are all the top splits. I love that we're in here. It just means that it's going to be really hard to take it to the fast guys tonight. So, but it's also cool because it means we're racing the best of the best of the best. So that part's fun. So, all right, I'm going to focus forward here. I'll talk our way through our warm-up lap, and then I'm going to focus forward and do my best in qualifying here. So let's go.
Carlos is not in that race, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. No.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, Carlos.
Yeah. Best of luck, guys. And thanks for tuning in. I was actually talking about tire warming with Shane this afternoon, just because he just came from a very cold, wet racetrack. I'm like, so you guys obviously don't weave back and forth. How do you build heat and tires at a very cold, very wet place? And he's like, riding the brakes and really aggressive throttle braking as soon as you can, and then it will improve the more heat you put in. You'll have more grip, and then you can stop more aggressively, and then the heat just keeps coming in better and better. So if iRacing did their job correctly, it means that that will be the same principle we'll want to apply here. So that's where I do a lot of these big aggressive brake stands and then aggressive throttle applications. It's trying to just get as much heat as I can into the car in one lap. Heat to the tires, excuse me. Really, I'm going to run this my normal position. One more aggressive brake stand here. All right. And now I'm going to take a really wide approach. Go a little bit off track so we have a little bit more space. And then we're going to cut back and hammer down. All right. Going to do my best to focus here.
Green flag, green flag. Okay, here comes your third time lap.
Not ideal. Tires were still cold, and it's an off track anyway. Alright, so this is not going to be a valid lap time, but I'm just going to push, keep building heat, and for practice for the next lap.
You've got about 2 laps of fuel left.
And that was another off track. It doesn't matter at this point, though. Alright. We're going to have to take it a little conservative on the next one. I'm going to go a bit wide again. I know we're giving up time here, but the time's invalid anyway. Still a good exit. Alright, let's get a lap in.
One more lap. You have about 1 lap of fuel left.
All right, not a perfect lap, but it should be as good as I'm going to be able to do right now. It should be a low 49, I'm hoping. Hoping. 49.3 maybe?
There's the flag. It's over.
49.3, right on the money. All right, that's about as good as I've ever done, so I won't complain about that. Not perfect, but I will take it. You know, not 6th in the top split is not too bad. I won't, nothing to complain about. Still 1.7 off the fast guys. That's crazy. Whew. Okay, Garrett, so based on the math we did earlier today...
28 gallons? Or
we-
liters, pardon.
Was what, 26 we added earlier today, right?
Yes, and we got it pretty close.
Yeah, let's do 27, just to give us a comfort.
Alright,
zone for
that sounds
March.
good then. We do 27, then only left side tires.
Yes, correct. That should be it.
Don't forget to advertise.
Yes, thank you. Been here.
Carlos and team got P2.
Way to go, Carlos. Yeah, way to go, guys. All right, looks like qualifying is over early. Couple seconds, and then we'll move over. Hey, Mom, on TV. Victor, tune into our YouTube if you haven't already. You see that on the chat, Garrett?
Yeah, we were laughing at it out here.
One to go. Next time by. Line up on the right side. The estimated strength of field is 2,639. Closed. Pit road is closed. Tight field today. Look for opportunities.
All right. Well, as always, we want to keep it clean. Cannot win the race in the first corner, but we can lose it. So
The field is on the grid.
we're going to take it safe at the start. I'm not going to leave everything out there. I'm not going to let everyone drive by me. But yeah, we don't want to get too aggressive, especially on cold tires. We want to be super heads up in the first lap. We don't want to get involved in any incidents. We definitely don't want to get collected in someone else's mistake here. I've seen a lot in the last couple of weeks of prototypes crashing, and by the time we arrive on the scene, they're rejoining the track, so that can get really ugly. So we'll definitely be heads up about that. Garrett will be spotting for me behind and helping me with crew chiefing and managing all my pit stops, which it looks like he already has everything set, so that's awesome. So we'll take just left side tires and 27 liters of fuel. If anyone's watching doing one of these races and you're in a Porsche, I would love to know how much fuel you're adding, because it seems like you guys always get away with taking less fuel than I have to in the Mercedes. I would love to know how that's possible. I mean, is it just simple fuel efficiency difference? Usually these GT3 cars all make the same fuel mileage, give or take. So, curious how that works, but...
Still waiting on 2 cars to grid. Waiting on the final car to grid.
All right, 20 seconds to go, and then we'll do a full pace lap.
While we're waiting for this, let's start taking bets on heart rates this time. I'm gonna guess 120. Play conservative this time. TJ, what about you?
Gonna go with the 131.
That's a good number. My birthday. Did you know that? TJ, is that what you said that?
I did not know your birthday, but now everybody on the internet does.
Yeah, great. Now you know my passwords and everything. No, none of my passwords have my birthday in it, don't worry.
11 car.
I don't know.
Daphne's cracking under pressure.
In normal circumstances, I've gotten to right around 120 at the start of the race, and then unless something crazy happens, it doesn't really ever get past that. But Long Beach was an outlier.
Way too under.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, we're sitting on the grid here waiting for the prototypes to roll off. I don't know what these P2s are waiting for. They should really get going at this point.
Alright, Daphne was sending 134 for her bet. I think she's
All right,
praying
well-
in your downfall here.
Yeah, that sounds scary. Thanks.
19 car, catch that, 29 car, catch that, 27 car.
I've talked to a bunch of pro real racers before about doing sim races and how does it compare to waiting on the grid and starting a race. And unanimously, guys who've competed in the Indy 500, guys who have won the Indy 500, are more nervous waiting in an iRacing lobby to start a race than to start the actual Indy 500. I know that probably sounds insane, but that is 100% of guys that I've talked to who are pro real racers are more nervous doing sim racing. So I'm hoping one day when I get in a real car, it's going to be way easier than this.
Yeah, because at least on the grid you have the adrenaline. Here you're just sitting in your seat waiting
Yeah, waiting for...
There's nothing, no chemical buffer to help you.
Yeah.
That, and it's like, okay, well, if I screw up, I gotta wait another 45 minutes to 2 hours for the next race.
Yeah, never mind dying and destroying a $5 million car.
Oh, yeah, who cares about that?
That's not important, but...
2 hours for your next race, though. Oh my god. God forbid.
Yeah, I know. A couple incident points.
Not my safety rating.
Yeah, right? I know that's hard to believe, but that is... I've talked to a lot of people, and that's always the case. Alright, so there's a huge gap to the GTP field that I wish was not that way. So we're probably going to be going green around the carousel, if I had to guess. So turn 12, Garrett. I mean, we'll see where we end up. But... why did that Ferrari just park it there? Maybe he lost internet connection. He discoed.
I saw some smoke coming from his car a second there. I don't know what happened.
Oh, I don't know.
He's coming back up. I
coming
don't
back.
know what happened, but... okay then.
There's only 10 of us here, so not a huge GT3.
It's a very
field.
small field, just in general. It's a handful of P2s, only 10 GT cars, and only a handful of GTPs as well, so... very small field.
I wish we would get going sooner here. Hate how far back in the track we are. We're going to be going green in the middle of the corner on our way to turn 12, which is just lovely. And we'll see GT traffic, or the GTP traffic, a bit sooner, unfortunately. This is going to be in the middle of the corner. This is all wonderful.
Post car is off. Time to do your job.
All right, we're probably racing any second here. Here we go.
Green flag. Green flag.
Man. All right. There's a punt from behind by the Ferrari. Thank you there, bud.
Right side. Keep to the left.
Not sure I have enough here, but we'll see.
Keep to the left. Clear. Car right. Still there. Hold your line. Clear on the right.
Cold tires and aero draft are not helping right now.
Car right. Clear.
Oh, this is getting dicey in front of me.
Left side. Clear on the left.
gonna try to set up a run out of the final corner on this pair of BMWs. Oh, good exit. I don't know if I'm gonna have anything for him though. Alright, got a long race. Long race ahead of us, anything can happen, and this is the top split, so these are the best of the best on iRacing tonight. Staying nice and tight with these guys so far, though.
Yeah, just keep it up, some good clean racing, you got it.
Yep. Thank you.
Right side. Clear on
Oh, did I make contact with him? I did not mean to do that. I am so sorry.
I was watching. It didn't seem like you made contact. It seemed a bit more like netcode.
That might be
You were
netcode.
really close, but it looked like netcode. I'm watching the rear chase cam.
Counts as a 2x. I am so sorry, dude. I did not mean to hit you. Did not mean to do that. Thought I was close. I didn't think I was touching you, though. My apologies.
Yeah, it looks like netcode. You were really close, but it looks like netcode.
Ah, sorry, dude. Jared, if you want to write an apology message on my behalf, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll find which guy it was.
I think it's Regan Chandler, I believe. It's like they call me before the storm, before the GTPs catch us. This is almost too easy right now without having to worry about traffic.
Yeah, be sure to get your breaths in now before it's a bit too late.
Yeah, right? I'm doing my best. I don't know if I have much for these guys up ahead. Might come down to some smart decision making here. Or not being in a Mercedes.
Hate to say it, that'll probably do it.
Yeah, the Ferrari or the Lambo look fast this week. Porsche is always fast, but if you want, we're looking at season 3 of this year to continue our live streaming stuff, and we are open to what category that is. I would like to stay in this IMSA format because it makes for some nice racing and whatnot, but we might go to a different car in GT3 class, or I'm even open to doing LMP2 or GTP, but if let us know in the comment section what you want to see us driving.
New fast flat for you.
Ooh, BMW and Ferrari are racing back and forth right now.
about to say it's very quiet and nice out the prototypes, but here
They're
they
on
come.
top of
First
us
place
now.
GTP is approaching very rapidly.
Yeah, I see that. Thank you.
Faster traffic approaching. Car on your left. Clear.
Heads up, you got 2 more GTPs approaching.
Copy.
Faster car coming up quick. Car on your left. Clear on the left.
You got another GTP, about half a second out.
Copy.
Left side. Clear.
Oh, missed my braking point a little bit for that.
A group of faster cars approaching.
3 or 4 more GTPs approaching.
Copy.
Right side. Clear on the right.
Oh boy.
Left side. Clear on the left. Car on your left. Clear on the left.
Close.
Ugh.
Yeah. That was close. Yeah.
Three wide turn 2 was still crazier. Road
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Faster car coming up quick.
GC approaching.
Yep.
And then you have another one. First place is also about 3 seconds back from him.
Car
Copy.
on your left. Clear.
I've got nothing for these GT3s in front of me. I'm doing the best I can, but this is what happens when you play with aliens. Which I am not. I'm good. Might be great,
Faster car
but I'm
coming
not
up
an alien.
Right side. Clear on the right.
Ooh, curb got me a little loose there.
Car right. Clear on the right. Car on your left.
You got one more P2 approaching. 3.5 seconds out.
Copy.
Faster car coming up quick. Right side, still there. Clear on the right.
Whew.
Two P2s approaching.
Car on your left, clear.
Copy.
The leader consider 48.394.
I generally like to, most places here, I'm trying to let the
2 more P2s.
prototypes go on the inside on the way into the corner so that I can go wide
Right side,
and then
clear
close
on
in
the right.
around the backside of them on the way through the mid corner and on the way out.
Left side, still there, hold your line. Clear on the left.
And if I just present myself as such, makes it pretty
Some more P2s
self-explanatory
approaching.
where they need to go.
Group of fast cars approaching. Right side. Clear on the right. Right side. Clear on the right.
All right. Yeah, these other GT3 guys tonight are very fast. Doing the best I have with the car I'm driving.
Just stay focused on what you got.
Yep. It will be a good haul of points. Oh, also, news for everyone. I'll just talk about on the straightaway here. We are doing really well in the championship points in this IMSA category just because we've done 2 or 3 races a week every single week. We are first in Florida region overall in GT3 class. We are second place right now in the 3rd division, and we are 63rd overall in GT3 worldwide right now in this series right now. So we keep it up. We're going to end up with some really good championship finishing results based on our points throughout this entire season. So we'll talk about that more towards the end of the season, but it's going really well is the point right now. Consistency is king. So, may not bring home a glorious result tonight, but we will bring home some good points towards that championship standing. So, I like to play the long game. All right, a little past 30 or 15 minutes in, 2/3 of the way to go. And it looks like there's some good GT3 battles going on up ahead. So, someone else is having an exciting race. But for me, this is still racing even though there's no one around.
Yeah, we're kind of sandwiched between 2 cars, 6 seconds to the car behind and in front, so I don't think we'll be seeing much much racing between us and GT3s anytime soon. We do have the lead GTP car approaching now, 6 seconds out.
Copy. We'll see them by the end of the lap. Not always glorious in a race car. Just as Max Verstappen. I don't think he's had a fun race in a long time.
Faster car coming up quick.
He can pass me after this chicane. He's too close to be able to say otherwise about that.
You have a lapped GTP car approaching, as well as the second place GTP car approaching.
Copy.
car coming up quick.
Heads up, the guys behind you are fighting for position.
Clear.
Copy. Alright, I should do my best to play, not get in the way of any battles right now, so let me know if there's any position battles coming up. I really don't want to interfere with that.
Yep, all you got is this one GTP on the top of you now, and you're clear.
You're on the right.
Next GTP is 7 seconds out, and he is fighting for position.
Got it.
The car in front is pitting.
We can stop any time here. I'm gonna go this next lap, I think. The P2s will be really close to us.
The car behind is pitting.
I think.
You're in fifth.
Yeah, I think the P2s will be really close to us next lap. No, I'm going to do one more lap. Let the P2s get a little bit closer. The leader P2s might catch me, but not the rest of the fields, and they're the ones who are honestly the most invasive, so...
Yeah, the P1, or position 1 P2 car is 14.5 seconds out, so you got time till he arrives.
Copy. Yeah, I think that'll be really good next lap. Some of you guys may have noticed I'm not perfectly consistent in which gear ratios I'm using in some places. I do know that I'm doing something different every lap. That was a small mistake. I try to experiment with different things, and ultimately I'm using the gear ratios I'm in as a slight tool to change what the car is doing at any given time. It's not ideal. It's just kind of how I drive, is I go by feel for what ratio I want to be in.
Heads up, first place P2 is right on top of you.
Yep.
Second place is 3.5 seconds back.
Car on your left. Clear.
Alright, we're going to box this lap.
The leader is running. 48 points.
27 liters, left side tires only.
We're all set.
Alright.
You've got about 5
Okay, all right, let's do this thing.
Pit box in 10.
Alright, halfway through, how's your casual weekend track day going?
3.
Me?
Yeah.
1.
It's better than the previous race, I guess. Not.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that. That was a bit
Yeah.
stressful.
Yeah. This has been all right so far. Let's hope it's not dramatic. It may not be exciting for you guys to watch, but much easier to manage that way. Good job on the stop. All right, just help me be heads up for prototype traffic. There's one coming by here.
You're clear.
Yeah, it might be close to these next two coming in. Not quite. We'll be okay.
And thanks to the shout out Cars to Site. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
You have a GTP and a P2 approaching.
Okay.
Car right. Clear on the right. Car on your left. Clear.
Two more GTPs approaching.
Every which way on cold tires, it's tough to manage.
The car coming up quick.
Please don't. All right, thank you for not going around the outside. Whew.
Clear on the right.
GTP 2 seconds out, and then another one 9 seconds out.
Copy.
Car on your left. Keep to the right. Clear.
What position were we naturally in before? Was it 8th, I think?
I believe so, and we're holding 7th right now. Correction, we're at 9th now. So we were
Yeah.
7th or 8th, one of those two, and now we're up to 9th. Because of the pit stop, but
Yeah, I imagine when everyone pit stop cycles, we would be pretty close. I don't see how that could have changed.
heads up, you got two GTPs approaching rapidly.
Approaching.
Copy.
Car on your left. Keep to the right. Clear on the left.
Also got a P2 behind this GTP.
Yep.
Right side. Clear on the right. Car right. Clear. Faster car coming up quick. Car on your left. Clear on the left.
So for anyone watching, I know naturally you're watching on YouTube right now. We are considering restreaming simultaneously to YouTube and Twitch and possibly other platforms. Probably Twitch being our number one for the next place. Let us know if where's the single most place you would like to watch us, whether it's on YouTube, if you either want to watch on Twitch, Kick, or anywhere else. Just let us know in the comments, and we'll see what we can do about making that a reality in the future. Can't promise it'll happen right away, but we are a work in progress here. So,
Two P2s approaching.
okay.
Left side.
See the old WRC Subaru livery on that car? That was kind of cool.
Left side.
This guy's got the Aero McLaren
On
IndyCar
the left.
inspired livery. That one's cool too. Garrett, would you mind turning the air conditioning down in here, please?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Or down? You mean you want more air conditioning or
Cold.
less? Because
Colder.
okay, I was gonna say because you can't go any lower.
Yeah, whatever colder is. Struggling with consistency there.
Shout out to Nick, and you got 2 votes. Ooh.
For
Man,
what?
we got, YouTube.
All right, cool. Well, guess what? We're already on YouTube. That's awesome. Well, we're definitely not going to go away from YouTube. It's a really good platform for us. We definitely want to start doing some produced content ahead of time that we record and upload, talking about our sim, our place, everything else we have going on here. That's definitely in the works, so we are not leaving YouTube anytime. Oof. All right, just under 17 minutes to go. Looks like 10 laps or so. Feeling good. Not exciting, but racing is not always exciting for everyone. No such thing as a triumphant P9, but championship points are always a good thing.
Haas would disagree with that statement.
Yeah, they probably would. They're still a
Alpine
Formula
too, I
One
reckon.
team, though, so we are still racing the top split on iRacing tonight, which is definitely batting up for me. So I'll take it. Sorry, it's not as exciting to be fighting for a win, but I don't have control over that part. My
Heads
iRacing
up,
is just
you
so
have a
good in the top
GTP
split.
and the first place P2 approaching.
Copy.
The lead is pitting now. Left side, clear
That
on
was
left.
bold there, bud.
Left.
That's not a good place to do that. Alright, just hard to predict. Not your fault, Garrett. It's just poor decision making by the prototypes.
Group of faster cars approaching.
As I get a GTP and the class leader for P2.
Copy.
Both approaching now.
Left side. Clear. The car on your left. Clear. The car in front is pitting.
Yep, one more GTP approaching.
Faster car.
1 second out.
Okay.
The car behind is pitting.
We're up at P7 somehow. I don't know if someone made a mistake at a pit stop or lost time otherwise, but that's another position.
The lead is pitting now.
Garrett, would you mind turning the fans up in here a little bit as well? It's really getting warm.
Yeah, turn it up. I'll turn it some more up. By the way, you have a P2 8 seconds out.
Copy. It's like medium speed would be good. Cool, thank you.
Car 15 has taken the lead.
So we have this whole room with both of our simulators. Our second sim, identical to this one. It just has blue seatbelts instead of red. That's on the other side of my right triple screen. They are in a climate-controlled room, and then we have independent fan control to manage everything in here. So For one, I'm working pretty hard. I'm in a motion seat, so I'm getting bounced around. I've got some pretty serious braking feedback or steering
Sorry to
feedback.
interrupt. You got the first and second place P2. Sorry, second place P2 is gone. First place P2 is on top of you now.
Yep.
Car right. Still there. Clear on the right.
And I'm working really hard with the steering. I've got a brake pedal that needs 300 pounds of force to get the car to stop. So, again, a bit overkill. Not ideal for competitive online sim racing, but it's what we have here as a training tool, and I'm working towards getting into a real car myself in the future. So I'm not necessarily looking to make it as easy as possible for myself, but as a training tool towards doing the real thing. And then we got a really powerful PC in here. It's a 3090. No, it's not a 4090. 3090 is fine for our purposes with what we have going on in here right now. And a whole lot of other electronics running the motion, the sound system, everything else we have going on in here. So the PC is pumping out a lot of heat. So this room gets hot very quickly when the air conditioning is not turned up all the way.
Heads up, you get a GTP, and then there's a P2 10 seconds out.
Copy. Whew. We actually have the steering feedback set, so the amount of torque that I'm feeling on the wheel and resistance is actually more than you'd actually feel in the real car. We intentionally do that, one, as a training tool. We also like it a little higher because it gives just a little more detail with what's going on in the steering. I personally like it, but we have the ability to change it on the fly. So if someone wants a little bit more, wants a little bit less, we can change that for them accordingly. But feedback's really good. It's just that we have it turned up a bit high for my preference. Helps make my forearms and hands, wrists, fingers, all that a little bit stronger along in the process too. So occasionally I get some cramps, but it gets better the more of this I do. So
Faster traffic approaching.
Yeah, two P2s on you. First one's passing now, second one's approaching.
okay.
Stay sharp.
The guy was about to run over me.
Car right. Clear.
What are the gaps ahead and behind cars in class?
In class ahead, 14 seconds. Behind, I cannot see yet. I'll let you know once I find out, though. You do have a P2 right on you, about a second out, and a GTP 5 seconds out.
Copy.
Car right. The car in front is pitting. Clear on the right.
Something like 13 seconds to the guy behind, and 14 to the one in front.
Okay, I kind of had no man's land. Leaves me a little wiggle room to
Traffic approaching.
not get in anyone's way.
You got a GTP behind you now, and the class leader for GTP is 7.5 seconds out.
Go right.
Copy.
There's an incident ahead. Left side. Clear. Faster car coming up quick.
You got a P2 and a GTP directly on top of you. GTP is is the class leader. I'd say they get him by, or he definitely reckless.
Okay. I don't really care what place people are in. Just give me what I need to know. Just let me know if they're fighting. It's just a lot of information, and I'm just trying to process all of it in real time.
Car on your left. Clear on the left.
You got a P2 and a GTP approaching.
Copy.
Car right. Clear on the right.
Alright, we got just over 7 minutes to go. Should be 5 laps remaining.
Faster traffic approaching.
One GTP and one P2 approaching.
Copy.
Car on your left. Clear.
Much inside curb there, my line is wrong.
Faster traffic approaching. Car on your left. You're on the right. 3 wide. Clear.
Man, this P2's not making it easy for the GTP.
Yeah, y'all want 3 wide in that corner.
Yeah, I'm getting out of this.
That's a good GTP and another P2 approaching.
Copy.
Faster traffic approaching. You have about 5 laps of fuel left. Left side. Clear on the left.
4 laps to go, should be.
Faster car coming up quick. Right side. Clear on the right.
That's up to get 2 more P2s approaching.
Copy.
Right side.
That was bold.
Faster car coming up quick. Left side. Clear on the left.
You got 2 GTPs approaching.
Copy.
They're both fighting for position.
Copy.
Faster traffic approaching. Right side. Clear on the right. Left side. Clear.
Alright, I still really don't have a race with anyone going on here. I'm in P6. I guess somehow I picked up another position. Maybe someone got taken out or made a mistake. So, not too bad. 3.5 minutes to go. Should be 3 laps. Definitely feel that the right side tires, which I've had on since the start, are getting tired now too. Tires all around are getting tired.
You got a P2 approaching.
Copy.
Left side. Clear.
Still apologies to Regan in the BMW behind us. I'm sorry for getting that close that I caused you to spin out there. Did not intend to do that. Trying to race you closely. There's some other people pretty close like that before, but perhaps I should have left more space there for netcode. So my apologies. If you were close to me, I would be glad to yield the position, but I'm not going to give up 20 seconds to make that happen. All right, got a couple laps to go.
Consider 49.842.
Yeah, thanks, Replica and Josiah. Actually telling Daphne here in the command center about the gravel bike race that NC and I did last year up in North Carolina. So I was, I guess, talking with my hands over here. What's up, gangstas?
Believe this is the white flag, should be.
Last flag.
White flag, want to go. Alright, let's bring it home. I don't think there's any opportunity, unless something goes wrong, with the cars ahead to pick up a position, but nonetheless, going to run this nice and clean. Put in my best effort here. Alright, final couple corners here. Alright, so this was not as dramatic as last week by a long shot. I'm okay with that. Sorry for you guys that there wasn't more to talk about or to dissect through here. But again, top split, I feel like I'm very happy with us being able to pull off a P6 finish in the top split in a strength of field much higher than what I'm used to competing in. Doesn't look like it's really going to do much to my I rating. Picked up a couple incident points, so it shouldn't really damage my safety rating at all. So there's a checkered flag. I'll take it. No champagne this week, but that's what makes the champagne so much sweeter when you do get it. So,
There's the flag. It's over.
all right, we'll take a nice cool, slow cool down lap.
Really well.
Yeah, overall it was pretty good. I mean, there's always small errors that I'm going to make in the car, trying to manage traffic. I mean, this is also a live stream, so I'm trying to juggle managing that and everything too. Got a crowd of people behind me, a bunch of people watching. So yeah, just juggling a lot of balls to make this all work. But that's such is racing, and that's why we like to do this. So yeah, this was good. This was a fun one. Thanks to you guys back there. Garrett for spotting for me, helping me with my pit stop stuff. TJ doing everything that you do for commentary. Of course, Daphne for making all this happen too. And then, of course, as always, we want to do a big shout out to all of our partners, starting with Decipher Technologies, best in IT and cybersecurity solutions, doing some really cool things in the club here coming up soon. South Wake for being our business partners in developing this project. We have some very cool things on our horizon for the next 12, 18, 24 months. Just stay tuned for that. Not much more I can say right now, but things are coming up. As always, want to thank Rocky's Ultimate Garage here in West Palm Beach for the best wheels, tints, wraps, detailing, PPF, you name it. You do a really nice job. If you're looking, if you have a nice supercar, sports car, exotic car, race car, you name it. I'm about to run out of fuel here. Not that that matters. We'll just sputter it into pit lane. There it is. We'll coast it into pit lane. What else have we got? Captain's Chair Coaching for giving me some of the best executive and business coaching around. This Ferrari is doing what a Ferrari does, and looks like it's on fire. All right, we're just going to stop it there. What else have we got? We got Sawbelt for giving us, working with us on the best driver safety gear. Safety isn't as obviously isn't as important in a sim. Hopefully, safety is not a concern in your sim. You're doing something wrong if it is. But we have the best GT pad seat here, fully configurable to fit all sorts of drivers. Really comfortable. I love spending a lot of time in this thing. I never have any problems with comfort or anything otherwise. Perfect FIA approved to put in a real race car, so I'd highly recommend it if you're considering something like that. I've got my pair of, these are a bit worn out now. I've had these for a couple of years. These are their Hero 9 gloves. These things are awesome. Again, they're fireproof. They're overkill to use in a sim. I like training with what I drive in real life, which is what I use these for. So that's why I like using them in here. But a good pair of sim gloves would go you a long way. Sawbelt did launch their new sim product line. So they're making chassis, seats, belts, and their own sim gloves. So if you want to check out some static rig stuff or sim products, go check out Sawbelt's product line there. We might be doing some of them in the future. As always, Race Logic and VBox, love their product line. We use the Race Logic, the VBox Sim Pack to capture all of our video center screen, along with all this, the actual car telemetry, to review in-circuit tools, which is the same software package you would use to do all of that in real life. So if you're watching now, you have a real race car, you want a really good camera data system, hit us up, info@thechicane.club, and we'll get you hooked up with that. I think that's just about everyone on our list. So, yeah, here, let's go through a couple things. Get these seatbelts off of me so I can breathe a little bit more. All right, so yeah, again, a little bit of a boring race, but again, we brought home a, what did we say, P6 finish in the top split?
Yep, P6.
I'll take it. It was a good bit off, but I don't always have, I'm not an alien, not yet. I'm great, but I'm not a professional. I'm a professional, a lot of things, but not a professional sim racer quite yet. But yeah, good result for us. I don't know if there's much to really review here. So let's go out and see how that affected our iRacing results. All right, what have we got here? All right, so actually nominal safety rating improvement again. So I'm back up to 3.64. That's really nice. And then a 3-point improvement in my iRating. So not really much of a change.
Still
there.
Positive change.
Still
Can't
positive.
complain about that.
Yeah, that's always nice. Unfortunately means I'm going to be racing some harder and harder people every week. But what I'll also show you guys that we have not looked at yet is the series results. Where do we go for that? So this is actually championship or season-long results with how we accumulate points. I'm not a whiz with how they calculate the points calculations for this, but I know it's basically average finishing results. So even though you can, if you do 100 races, which might be way more than me, you're not necessarily earning more points. It's about consistency and really solid results. So I am 64th globally in GT3 class in the IMSA series this season, which, you know, being top 100 is really cool. But what I really want to see, I think this might take a little while to update based on the last race tonight, so this might even be better tomorrow. But what I want to show you guys that's really cool is that if I go to Florida region, which we are from South Florida right now, we are #1 in Florida right now in GT3 class by almost a 100-point margin. And again, this hasn't even updated from this race tonight. So we might even be higher up on this list. We have an even bigger gap to P2. So that part's really cool. Love being the top at something. So being the best in Florida, I mean, hashtag Florida. But yeah, that part's pretty cool. And then we're going to look at the divisions. I believe I'm in the Division 3, which I from what I've come to understand, TJ, I don't know if you know any more about this. I believe the divisions are kind of like equivalent to the splits, so you kind of get ranked based on your iRating. Earlier today, yeah, P2 in Division 3, so in the third split and championship points, I'm in second place, which I think is awesome. Like, I'm really excited. We still have a long way to go, but the plan is to continue with this format every single week, and I can't imagine it's going to get worse unless I start not driving as good. This might be exciting towards the last week to kind of see where I am. I don't know if I have much of a shot to win overall. I'm more than 50% off on the way of points there, but to be in the mix of it in the top 100 is pretty cool. So, yeah, as always, guys, let us know what you like, you don't like, questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, complaints, random events. Let us know in the comments section. But in the meantime, go and check out our Instagram. Make sure you hit the subscribe tonight if you haven't already. Drop us a comment. Unfortunately, I have to say those things, but we're trying to build our YouTube channel. So anything you can do to help share what we have going on would be great. We'll be back here next week, getting ready for Spa, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we got Spa next week.
All right. Well, I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to commit to it on the stream right now that we're going to get Shane to come in here and give me some commentary and some coaching, because he is your 2024 Spa 12-hour overall winner in GT3 in a Mercedes. So who better to help us make it happen and get some good results than Shane himself? So if you don't know who I'm talking about, just Google or search Go Shane Go on Instagram. Dude is a rock star. He's done the Daytona 24 19 times. He's won it once. He's raced at Le Mans. He's done it his entire life. There's not much he hasn't done. This year he's racing trophy trucks. Might be back in a GT3 car. Who knows? He's the man. He's my really good friend of mine. We do a lot of stuff with him here. He's a founding member. His helmets are on display. There's posters of him everywhere. So he's a rock star. But we're going to try to have him on the headset. He's been traveling all around the world since we started doing these streams. So we finally got him in our own zip code. So we'll try to have him on for next week. But until then, you guys have a good week. And we'll see you next week at 8 o'clock, same time, same place.